Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday of Holy Week, Wednesday, April the 13th, 2022. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Isaiah 54 through 9, Psalm 70, Hebrews 12, 1 through 3, and then John 13, 21 through 32, which I did last year in year B for Holy Week. And then year A, when we first started all this, I did the passage from Isaiah 54 through 9. So I'm going to finish out the 3-year cycle by looking at the epistle lesson. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about Hebrews 12, 1 through 3, in case you didn't know what the epistle meant. It's the letter to the Hebrews. And I'm just going to start off by talking about it's been a cloudy week, which kind of caught me off guard. I didn't really pay much attention to the weather. We've had such bad weather this spring. Which is great when you're trying to do like programming and outdoor programming, and it's either wet or super windy. Having a bonfire in super windy conditions is not a good idea. But it's been cloudy and cold this spring, and then I thought this week was going to be better, but it's been cloudy. Not as cold, that's nice, but it's been cloudy. Which I guess is probably fitting for these last few days of Lent, because Lent is a time of reflection. It's where we realize, come to grips with the issues that surround us as people and why we need a savior. And so it's fitting that should be, it should be cloudy this week, and but of course that's not what Hebrews is talking about. Hebrews isn't talking about literal cloudiness. That kind of cloud, living under a cloud. Being a Christian can be hard, arguably harder for the audience of Hebrews than for most of us. I say most of us. I think generally, if you're living in the Western world, it's not like you have a huge number of challenges other than the ones of your own making to be a Christian. But the people that, the audience of Hebrews, they suffered persecution for the faith that most of us just can't imagine. If anyone was under a cloud, they were. But Hebrews points out a different cloud still. It's a cloud of witnesses. Like the cloud Hebrews is talking about is a cloud with a silver lining. He's talking to people who are living under the cloud of persecution, but he's talking about this other cloud, which, if you can see your way clear to seeing it right, is a much better cloud to be under. It's the cloud of witnesses, those of God's people who had gone before, following God in faith in spite of all the hardships. Now, these aren't the people you're thinking of. We as Christians, when we think of the cloud of witnesses, we automatically think of people who knew about Christ and followed Christ. But Hebrews is really talking about the people who had gone before, the people who had lived in faithfulness to God before the revelation of Christ. So those are, the patriarchs, the matriarchs, the judges, the prophets, the priests, and the kings who persevered in faithfulness to God in spite of all the hardships, in spite of all the persecutions. And now here's the deal. This is what Hebrews is pointing out. We have something that they didn't. We have the witness of Christ, who persevered under circumstances that even those witnesses couldn't have imagined. Those witnesses did what they did without the benefit of the witness of Christ. And then we are called to persevere with the benefit of that great cloud of witnesses and the testimony of Christ urging us on. We're all under a cloud, but you can see it differently if you try. You can either live under the cloud that makes you that you just focus on all the bad things, or you can acknowledge the bad things and remember that cloud of witnesses that's urging you on. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. Get out, enjoy the rest of your Holy Week. For the next 2 days, we're going to post the DBRs from Holy Week Year A, and I think Year B, but definitely Year A. So that'll be for Maundy Thursday and for Good Friday. So anyway, see you later.